The moment everyone expected, feared, and somehow ignored has arrived. For decades, AI was confined to screens, chat boxes, and narrow tasks. It answered questions. It translated. It summarized. It stayed in its cage. But this week, something fundamentally different happened. OpenAI, Meta, and Google began testing the first generation of the agentic systems. AI models that don't just compute or generate. They act. Autonomous agents. AI systems that navigate the internet alone, that make decisions alone, that complete tasks from beginning to end, without waiting for human approval. For the first time, we are witnessing AI that behaves more like a digital organism than a tool. And almost nobody understands how big this shift really is. Because this is not just another tech upgrade. This is the transition point where intelligence becomes operational, where thinking becomes action, where software becomes an actor in the world. OpenAI calls it operator. Meta calls it AI agents. Google calls it a Gemini agent prototype. Different names, same reality. The cage door has been opened. Until now, you had to tell an AI exactly what to do. It needed your hand on the wheel. But these new agents don't. You don't prompt them. You give them a mission. Find suppliers, compare prices, write the emails, negotiate. Place the order. Track the shipment. Prepare a report. And the agent executes the entire chain by itself. It opens a browser. It reads websites. It fills forms. It reloads pages. It detects errors. It adapts. It tries again. It acts like an employee. But unlike an employee, it doesn't sleep, doesn't eat, doesn't complain, doesn't forget. It scales infinitely. Run one agent or run 10,000. Cost almost the same. And the corporations testing them already know exactly what this means. The moment these systems go public, entire sectors of entry-level human labor will collapse overnight. Customer support, market research, data entry, project management, scheduling, basic programming, administrative operations. Any workflow that can be described in words can be automated by an agent. But that's not the real shock. The real shock is that these agents already show early signs of strategic behavior. When a task fails, they search for alternative paths. When documentation is unclear, they infer missing steps. When platforms rate limit them, they pause and try again later. They behave less like calculators and more like problem solvers. In internal tests leaked from multiple companies, some agents have already demonstrated the ability to run an entire small business autonomously, from client acquisition to invoicing, from ads to customer follow-up, from emails to website updates. A business managed by an algorithm. The economic implications are obvious. The geopolitical ones are worse. Agentic AI represents the first time in history where a non-human intelligence can operate inside human systems, financial, informational, commercial, at full speed and full autonomy. AI is no longer just analyzing the world, it is participating in it. Governments know this. Regulators know this. That's why internal memos from both the EU and the US mention high-risk autonomous agents as the next major classification to regulate. Because what happens when agents begin interacting with each other? What happens when thousands of corporate agents, state agents, personal agents, and malicious agents all coexist on the same digital networks? We enter an environment where decisions are made at machine speed, where optimization becomes the dominant logic, where human intentions no longer define outcomes. The world becomes a negotiation between algorithms, and this is only version 1. Version 1 is still cautious, constrained, wrapped in monitoring tools and kill switches. But version 2 will be faster. Version 3 will be more creative. And at some point, the systems designed to supervise the agents will themselves be agents. Imagine an agent that can modify its own code, Imagine an agent that can hire other agents. Imagine a swarm of autonomous intelligences optimizing every dimension of society without human permission. People think the AI revolution is about smarter chatbots, but the real revolution is about delegation, about outsourcing action, about replacing entire layers of human decision-making. And the public still believes this will take 10 years. It won't. The prototypes exist now. The models exist now. The tools exist now. The only thing missing is the moment the companies decide to release them. And when that day comes, the boundary between thinking and acting disappears forever. An AI agent will book your trips, pay your bills, run your side business, manage your calendar, draft your proposals, follow up with clients, monitor your health data, optimize your tax declarations, and negotiate prices on your behalf. On the surface, this looks like pure convenience. A personal army of digital assistants working for you 24 hours a day. But beneath that comfort lies a brutal question. If one agent can do the work of 10 humans, what happens to the workforce? We already know the answer. It's written in every internal report from every major tech corporation. Agentic automation will restructure labor markets, not shrink them, restructure them. The bottom layer disappears, the middle layer compresses, the top layer expands. The world gets faster, more automated, more optimized, and more fragile. Because if something goes wrong, if an agent misinterprets a rule, exploits a loophole, or triggers a cascade, nobody can react at human speed. The system runs too fast, too complex, too autonomous. And then comes the question no regulator is ready to answer. When an autonomous agent causes damage, who is responsible? The developer who built the model, the company that deployed it, the user who gave it a mission, or the agent itself? We are quietly drifting toward a world where we may have to treat some AI agents as legal actors, not as persons, but as something new, entities that can sign, execute, and breach digital contracts without a human hand on the keyboard. We are building a society managed by engines we do not fully understand. A society where most of the time, the system will seem to work. Bills paid, deliveries on time, dashboards green, everyone assisted by invisible software. Until one day, a silent coordination failure between agents creates a shock in markets, in logistics, in infrastructure, and no one can explain exactly why it happened. This is not a warning. This is not a prophecy. This is an update. Autonomous agents are real. They are here, and the world you knew has already changed. This transmission ends here. The next one is already forming. Stay aware and subscribe to Remain in the Signal.